Hey y'all, welcome back to Prepping the Truth. Welcome to this evening's video. I hope everybody is having a happy Thursday. We are going to be talking about how much is too much for your family and for most of the Americans. So if you're new to this channel, please click that subscribe button down below. Be sure to tap the notification bell beside it so that you're notified when I upload new videos. And as always, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to share. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about a very simple yet very important question is, how much is too much for your family? We know right now currently that prices on food are on the rise and are expected to rise even more than last year. They're stating about 8%, some places saying 3 to 4%, but we all know that the supposed 8 to 10% that they said last year is way higher than that, so we can expect it to raise pretty good. Not to mention, most all of y'all have probably already seen the list of Biden tax hikes that's hit America starting January 1st. If you haven't, I'm going to go through those too, so you're going to want to stay tuned and watch that to find out what else is going to be soaring in 2023 that went into effect January 1st. So, how much is too much for your family? What is the breaking point to what you can afford for your food for your family? Right now, with what I have actually seen with my own eyes in grocery stores, I believe we are reaching a breaking point. I can't count how many times I've been in the grocery store and I have seen people pick up an item, look at it for a little while, see the price of it, set it back down and say, I can't afford it, or that's too much. Or have to settle for a different, lesser quality, lesser quantity, lesser nutrition, however you want to say it, product, compared to one that they should be able to purchase because they did not have the funds for one and they had to get the other just to keep from starving. And that is something right there that no family should have to decide on whether or not you can have nutritious food because you can or can't afford it. That should be available to every person in every household out there. It should not be a situation where people cannot afford to put food on their table. And it's not going to get easier with these tax hikes that's come in, because if you're thinking, well, I'll just eat less or I'll eat cheaper or something like that, these tax hikes are going to take your money and put it somewhere else. So if you thought that was the only thing going to be raising in 2023, that is definitely not the case, because anytime a tax hike comes, that's going to get passed on to the consumer. That's just all there is to it. It has to come in the form of somewhere else. These companies are not going to eat that. They're not going to cover that cost for you. They will pass it on. So one thing is a $6.5 billion natural gas tax, which will increase household energy bills. Definitely not something that is a surprise to us. And that's going to be a 17% on average increase on a family's natural gas bill. So if you use natural gas, be ready to pay even more than you was before. $12 billion crude oil tax, which will increase the household costs. Definitely something else going on. Imposing a 16.4 cent per barrel tax on crude oil and imported petroleum products that will be passed on to consumers in the form of, yep, you guessed it, higher gas prices, like they're not already high enough as it is. We need stuff going down. We need an administration pulling prices down, not up. That's not how we needed to start this new year. 1.2 billion coal tax, which will increase your household energy bills. Now this is coming in a different form, but it's 50 cents per ton to $1.10 per ton, and that coal rate is going to be passed on. It's going to come in the form of a higher electricity bill, because any money that they have to put in it to create your electricity, they're going to count that in and they're going to pass it on in your rates. Just how it works. Another thing coming too is the 74 billion stock tax, which will hit your nest egg. Yep, your 401s, your IRAs, your pension plans, all that stuff that you look at it like it's your little nest egg. They're wanting to get in on that too. When Americans choose to sell their shares of stock back to a company, Democrats will impose a new federal tax which will reduce the value of household nest eggs. Raising taxes and restricting stock buybacks harms the retirement savings of an individual with a 401, IRA, or a pension plan. Union retirement plans will also be hit. So everyone's going to get it. If you got one, it's going to happen. Just part of it. They done a $225 billion corporate income tax hike, which will be passed on to households. It imposed a 15% corporate alternative minimum tax on the financial statement income of American businesses reporting $1 billion in profits for the past 3 years. And you're probably thinking, yeah, well, they make $1 billion, so it's no big deal. The catch to this, those companies making all of that money employ millions of Americans. How are they going to offset that? Higher prices, fewer jobs, lower wages. It's just how they're going to do it. They're going to continue to keep making their money. They're not going to lose any. It will be passed on to everyone else, whether it be less jobs, paying people less, or you having to pay more for a product that they are producing. Just going to get passed on to us. Just something else that's going to happen to make families in America struggle a little bit more. So the question is how much more can the families take? How much further is it going to go before people says enough is enough? And chaos ensues. You know, the theft is already going up. Violence is going up. I mean, people are taking machetes, you know, guns, all this kind of stuff into stores. It's not even really safe to go out shopping. So the violence level is already up. You start starving people and their families, and it goes up even more. Chaos ensues. They start stealing, and people try to stop the stealing, and people's going to get killed on account of that. So it's just a chain reaction that is not good. So people are going to have a breaking point, and I believe people are reaching that breaking point, and I believe we're going to see more and more signs of distress in America and more signs of what is happening, and I believe it's going to go down compared to up. I believe we're going to see times like we have never been in before, and I know a lot of people don't want to think about it. They just want to forget about it, but it is what it is. It is reality, and we have to try to prepare for it to make it through the best that we can. So thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. Stay safe. God bless you, and keep prepping.